Hello everyone, welcome back to Lockdown Lessons Part 19. And with me today I've got Steve Williams from BCalm. So I suppose the first thing for me to do is just say hello to you, Steve.
Afternoon, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you very much. So I suppose the best question to ask you first is just please can you tell the people that are watching this exactly what you do and how you help people?
Sure, okay, probably a slight explanation of what BCalm stands for. BCalm stands for Business Continuity and Risk Management, and we provide businesses with a combination of cloud-based risk management systems, a highly flexible on-site and virtual risk consultancy service. And if you like, our secret sauce is what we call engagement. We don't know what else to call it, but it's how we get our clients fully up and running and embedded in the solutions that we provide. So that's what we do. Our kind of principal areas of operation: business continuity, health and safety management, and environmental management as well, with a number of kind of spin-off areas such as training and kind of specialist development work. So that's what we do.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So I suppose if you could cast your mind back to March and maybe earlier in the year as well, when this COVID thing was beginning to rear its ugly head and we didn't really know what was going on. At what point did you say, hang on a minute, this might be making a difference to my business and it might make a difference to our clients' businesses as well, Steve? Yeah,
we started. So I think probably the first thing I should add is that, you know, when you call BCalm and you do business continuity is something that you kind of have to do. And so we're accredited to ISO 22301. So business continuity is kind of part of what we do every day. And it was about 2 weeks beforehand, we could see this building and said, right, okay. So if we actually flip to a virtual environment, then we'll need to tweak our arrangements. So we actually started working on, okay, what are the subtle changes we need to make about 2 weeks beforehand. That's when we thought, this is going to go in a different direction. So
yeah, I think there were certain government agencies that probably could have benefited from speaking to you a few months before that, actually.
Yeah, possibly.
Because yeah, although it did come out of the blue, it sort of didn't at the same time, because these things have actually happened in the past. Okay, it might have been 100 years ago for the Spanish flu, more recently with SARS and what have you, but this was always a possibility. So it does surprise me how some larger companies, multinationals, global businesses and governments haven't really sort of had the preparation needed to actually sort things out as quickly as they might maybe. So yeah. Hopefully things are getting resolved now. So how have you actually adapted as a business over the last few months then, Steve?
We've changed our model to a kind of semi-virtual model. So we've used all of the technology that everyone else has used. We moved to semi-virtual. So we were on premise before. Everyone now works from home. So we flipped the model, but we've retained some of our office space. So we've changed the actual platform that we work from. And it's really just everything that's come from that. So we've used the technology as much as we can to build internal communication. So if I was to score our internal comms, or in fact, we've just done a staff survey. So if I was to score our internal comms now compared to pre-16th of March, we're probably 9 out of 10 compared to maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10. So that's worked really well for us. And we've also used it. We didn't furlough anyone because we didn't need to. We could have done, but we didn't need to. So we took the opportunity of maybe more time on our hands to clear the decks of some products and also to accelerate some product development that we already had in the pipeline. So we were able to, we kind of learned to bring things to market a little bit quicker. But one of the things that I was kind of really pleased about is kind of the way that the team have adjusted themselves. And when you've got a lot of uncertainty and crisis, then what we sought to do at all times is create certainty for our teams and create activity for our teams and create teamwork. So we launched something called FedEx Friday. So every Friday we had to all work on a project that we would get out of the door on that Friday. So, kind of the week built up. And so that's become a really good methodology for us now to turn things around really, really fast as deliverables back out to our customers.
That's great. That's one of the wins that you've had along the way. So have there been any other wins at all, Steve?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we partner very closely with businesses in the insurance world, and the relevance of what we do for them has changed exponentially this year. And because they've been working from home, we say captive audience is the wrong word, but we've worked tirelessly with them to help build the knowledge and expertise and competency of their teams, so they're able to support their clients more. And we're seeing the benefits of that. So that was a bit of a game changer for us, really. So it's allowing us to help our partners deliver more for their customers.
Fantastic. And it brought you a lot of goodwill in the process, I imagine, right?
I would like to think so. Yeah. Signs are that yes, it has. Yeah.
Fantastic news. So how have you had to adapt then? What have you had to do differently as an organisation since we went into the original lockdown back in March?
But the main thing is just changing the way that we communicate. So, when you're all in one office, and in fact, we weren't all in one office because we have one member of the team that worked remotely, and I work remotely as well. But the main thing was about creating the communication, making sure that the information was flowing, and that we were feeding information into the team on a regular basis, as much as anything else, to just try and balance out all of the doom and gloom that were pervaded the airwaves and the television and all of that. So for us, it was about getting comms right, so that regardless of what anyone's personal circumstances were, we were trying to be a positive to kind of latch onto and build onto. So.
Good. So any of these changes that you've actually put in place, if you'd could have gone back to maybe last year or the year before, have there been changes you've put in place recently that you thought, well, actually, we could have actually done that sooner, if anything?
I think probably the big thing for us was the move to a kind of a semi-virtual model. The nature of our team means that we don't have to be working together. We don't have a load of highly sociable personalities. That's not our business. And everyone has benefited from the working remotely, working from home. I know that a lot of organizations see challenges around that, but we've worked really closely on them in terms of well-being. And now looking at that, I say to myself, well, I can recruit people anywhere now. I'm not restricted to a geographic area. I've just multiplied my potential talent pool 100-fold. So that's probably the one thing that didn't figure in our thinking. So that was the big sea change. But everyone loves it. It's gone down exceptionally well. And we've even onboarded 2 new members of staff in that time, and they really enjoyed the induction process. So yeah, that I think that's the big thing. But we haven't just done what we used to do in the office remotely. We've completely changed the whole process around. So
good. It's interesting because a lot of this stuff was available to us years ago, and that the technology that exists today isn't a million miles away from the technology that existed last year, right? But what it tended to do is actually, necessity is the mother of invention and all that.
Absolutely.
And it tends to change our mindset, the way we think. We think, well, hang on a minute, we've got a problem here. And great news for us is we live in an age where we have actually got something to get around it. From a personal point of view, you could video conference your parents that live in another country now. Whereas if this thing happened a few years ago, we would have been more isolated than ever, and it would have been more difficult. So I suppose one question I was going to ask you is, I always ask people this, is what have you actually learned about yourself during this time over the last few months, Steve?
Well, I think I knew, but I really know about myself now, is if you kind of look at the whole Kubler-Ross, grief curve and what have you, I don't really do that, or I come off the top of it really quickly. I enjoy a crisis. I'm not, don't want to make light of the situation, but I felt very happy kind of navigating our way through it. So what I've learned about myself is actually I enjoy being in the thick of it when the bullets are flying. And actually, when we get back to whatever normal is, I've got to go back and re-look at how I deal with life, my working life, and how I plan my work when I haven't necessarily got crisis going on around me all the time. So for me, it's been a valuable lesson. And I think it's allowed me to understand things about myself in pre-COVID, which I can now look at and go, actually, I could change that. I can address that. I now know why that happens. So
good. So I suppose one of the final questions I've got for you is, if there's anyone watching this interview that wants to find out exactly who your ideal customer is, I suppose, what types of businesses are you looking to speak to, and what types of businesses do you help in terms of verticals, business sizes, and geographical locations?
Sure. So we're geographically we're UK wide. In fact, we work with UK businesses that have operations throughout the world. So we're kind of UK business based, but with a worldwide footprint because our systems are cloud based. The size of organisations we work with really between sort of 50 and 2,000 employees. In terms of sectors, we work very closely with the manufacturing sector, retail sector, logistics, warehousing, distribution. They're three areas that we're involved with. But our systems aren't sector based. They apply to. So we have gunsmiths that we work with, to safari parks. So and all things in between. In terms of the type of businesses that perhaps the other way of looking is that we appeal to as an organisation, we're very much a performance-led growth mindset business. So our view of risk management is not compliance and protection. We see risk management as kind of almost like it's an untapped performance lever for your organisation. You get your risk management right, you'll drive in better employee engagement. You will reduce operational cost of friction in your business. You will enhance business resilience. Ultimately, all of which can improve your competitive position. So if you're a growth mindset organisation looking at how can we improve, how can we refine what we do, then we're probably someone that's worth having a chat with, because that's exactly the way that we operate, and provide the kind of a conversation with us about risk management will go into what performance metrics are you looking to achieve. How do you deal with this culturally? What employee engagement challenges, what management engagement challenges have you got? So we're a very different conversation to where's your health and safety policy, if I can just put it like that.
Yeah, it's a great way of putting it. I think the initial conversation we had a while back now, Steve, it was news to me, because I imagine that's what a risk management business would be, is understand the compliance and just deal with that side of things. Whereas, speaking to me about employee engagement and stuff, and I failed to realise before that call that the level and the type of risks that businesses are exposed to these days, and so that was a great initial call we had together anyway. So for those people that actually want to get in contact with you to find out, what I'm going to do, Steve, is I'm going to post your details below in the comments. But I just wondered if you could just read out what's the best way people can get in contact with you or your business. Probably
the best way, if you go to www.bcarm.co.uk, you'll find a whole wealth of information about us, and you'll be able to contact us at the same time.
Lovely. Well, for now, I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining me today, Steve. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I'm sure we'll catch up again sometime.
No, Philip, thank you very much for inviting me.
No problem at all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.